And now it's time for the next crash out. Benson from Regular Show.
Yeah, very valid. I'm not gonna lie. Every Benson crash out was damn near valid. I'm gonna be honest. That Mordecai and Rigby are all right, man, we got ourselves a new video. This is reasonable crash outs, bruh. Shout out Waves. Let's get it.
Pointing out a double standard here, Adrian. I mean, take hip-hop. We talked about this on the show before. You have African-American rappers saying inward this and inward that, but a Caucasian can't.
So say it.
Say what?
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't.
So you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Crash outs. We all familiar with them. People that be bunging for no reason. People that be over-exaggerating certain scenarios and just be taken out of context 99% of the time. Shit. I crashed out when I saw that Switch 2 games was £75.
Yeah, you got me actually fucked up.
That's like a whole shift at work. And with the whole cost of living crisis we got out here in the UK, you're trying to get me to spend that to play Mario Kart, which is a game you can only play online. Suck it on, bro. What are you talking about? But for real though, crashing out is an art. It's amazing how some people's first reaction to anything is to start moving like Grog from the cruise, or for them to throw the quickest tantrum possible, like their power levels rising.
First of all, this crash
to
out,
anything is to start moving like Grog from the cruise, or for them to.
This crash out was so invalid. And this was legendary. This is probably like the most legendary crash out ever. Niggas started crashing out fully clothed, came out with draws, and tried to put a remote in his ass. This is one of them ones right here. This is generational crash out, bro. No cap.
For the quickest tantrum possible, like their power levels rising, or they're going 0 to 100 like they from Obstacle. But a lot of crash outs are low-key justified. I mean, most of the time these men are just acting out after carefully warning people or just asking politely. And as your host of today's video, I'll be sharing and telling you why these were all reasonable crash outs, starting with the man himself, John Walker. And before I even talk about this man, look at the glaze he's recently been getting with the success of the Thunderbolts movie. It's times like this I think that as a Marvel fan myself, I actually sometimes question the community because they were
yeah, for sure. Bro, first of all, like, I get why he crashed out, but yes, nigga, it looks bad. But the glaze was crazy. Like, he didn't fucking kill somebody in cold blood. You're supposed to be a superhero. You don't do that. I get it wasn't completely justified, but I get it. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying I get it.
We're hating on this man for no reason. Don't get it twisted. I'm guessing that you man are finally recognizing peak. But I've been saying this since Falcon and the Winter Soldier, fam. John Walker has always been cold, fam. His suit was peak. The fights were fire. And his story was peak. US agent.
His story was, you know.
Such a cool character, but he got sold completely in the story. He was more than qualified to be Captain America through his accolades, achievements, and physical capabilities. He was an S-tier rank for this role, bro. Big man thing. I mean, shit. If we're being completely honest here, after I watched Thunderbolts with my boy, I think John could beat Steve in a fight, and it might not even be close.
You think that nigga can beat Steve? You lying, bro. Hey, bro. Listen, bro. Video cool right now, twin. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Not the Steve. Not the Steve. You're getting a little ahead of yourself. Relax a little bit. He cold. But Steve, alright, bro. You getting ahead of yourself, bro.
Fam, after that super jump he did, which I did not know they could do, fam. I didn't even know that was possible. They had me in the cinema with my mouth dropped. I didn't know he could do that. It was crazy, fam. But seriously, John Walker had every right to bug out and do what he had to do in the show. And you know, I'm just gonna cut the shit and get to the part where everybody supposedly throws shade to this guy. So the moment that made everybody hate John Walker, which is mostly the part where he killed the Flag Smasher, and everybody saying things like, oh, the guy was trying to surrender. A hero doesn't kill. And by far my favorite one, Steve Rogers wouldn't have done this. Like, you sure Steve Rogers hasn't killed anyone, bro?
Now listen. Steve Rogers for sure got some bodies. But it's about like morality. Because Steve wouldn't even allow Iron Man to catch that body on Bucky that was low-key deserved. Now, granted, he's a victim, but I still need that. You wouldn't even let him catch the fair ones. Bucky was his best friend. I get that. But he needs these heads at least. I wouldn't let him kill him. But nigga, you did kill both his parents, bro. You need these hands, bro. Not honoring that nigga with the fade is crazy.
Favorite one, Steve Rogers wouldn't have done this. Like, you sure Steve Rogers hasn't killed anyone, bro?
Not even the faith of a one-on-one. Oh god. Yeah, that nigga.
Let's be honest, superheroes have killed a bunch of people regardless of them being bad guys or not. Most of the time, we don't even count them as kills because they be doing way worse shit most of the time. With that being said, let me give you a deep analysis of the scenario which led John Walker to even kill the Flag Smasher in the first place. So before this even happens, the leader of the Flag Smashers, Carly, or better known as Pebbles bro from Top Boy, was planning to separate all the man them and kill John Walker in the first place. So Bucky and Sam get to her and realize they start Walker, so they start moving to his location ASAP. Fast forward now and they're all scrapping with the rest of the terrorists. And in this scene, John Walker gets grabbed by the man he kills later, who attempts to hold him so Pebbles can kill him with a knife, bro. So Battlestar tackles Carly and then she just punches the life out of my man, killing him. And like Naruto was when he thought Hinata died, John Walker was furious, fam. So he starts chasing down the terrorists to find out where Carly's gone, and in pursuit, the terrorist just dashes a concrete bin at him. And bear in mind, I didn't share this at the start, but he's now a super soldier. But if he didn't have the serum, he probably would have been knocked out or worse. So John Walker finally chases my man down and does the deed. And look at Carly looking all shocked at one of her brethren.
I'm not saying I don't understand. I'm like, listen. Listen, I don't agree, but I understand. I understand why. I don't agree, but I understand. He was surrendering. Killing somebody in cold blood, especially in front of all those niggas, you knew what was coming with that. Even if the nigga did kill your best friend. Your best friend died. It's a difference between, like, he's in his right state of mind. The dude was surrendering. At that point, you have to be the superhero. At that point, you have to be if you want to be a superhero, you have to be a superhero.
Brethren died when she was killing innocent people the entire show. She blew up a building full of people, took hostages, and did a whole GTA ragdoll out the car to even kill the hostages. I guess it was saving them. The GOAT himself, John Walker, fam. The show was painting John Walker as a bad guy from the start. Like Bucky and Sam were hating on him for no reason when him and Battlestar were just trying to do their job. Remember, the only reason why John Walker was even able to turn into Captain America was because Sam's dumbass decided not to take the opportunity for Captain America himself. He was handpicked by the man and he decided to take it and give it to the government. We're like, bro, it's your fault that shit even happened in the first place. And Bucky would just hate him because he wasn't Steve. He was up there gobbling Steve shit so bad that he couldn't see that somebody else would have eventually picked up the mantle of Captain America. And instead of being a comrade and a friend, he just became a hater, bro. And by far, this is the worst version of Bucky in the MCU, fam. His trim is shit, bro. His barber don't mess him up, fam. Don't get me wrong. John Walker...
God, he's so British. This shit fries me. Cause like, you deadass from the UK. Like, no hate. But like, just hearing an accent like this is so crazy, bruh.
Definitely had his flaws. Like right after he killed the Flag Smasher and started scrapping with Bucky and Sam, he was low-key trying to kill them. I'll be honest, he was crazy here. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he was treated poorly by other superheroes. Yes, John Walker was working for the government and Bucky and Sam weren't, but that doesn't mean you give the guy mistreatment. That was just mad unprofessional, especially from unks who've been in the game collectively for like 100 years. What the hell is wrong with you two? The type of treatment these two were given Walker and Battlestar was something Steve would have never done, and they were both mentioning his morals and ideals significantly in the show just to never be behind it themselves. And another thing going back to Carly was when Sam was out here saying she wasn't a terrorist, acting like he didn't know the type of shit she was doing. The writing in this show was so twisted. They tried to justify Carly's actions so much more and practically painted John Walker as more of a villain to some people. How is that even possible, bro? I'm happy that John Walker is finally getting recognized for how cool he is now with how cold the Thunderbolts movie was. But even before this, Marvel fans were just hating on him because he wasn't Steve. And fans act like Steve was a golden boy, like he wasn't throwing his shield at.
But see, here's the thing. Marvel fans are stuck in their ways. They want their same actors to play the same characters forever. Just like they was giving that nigga slack for being a new Captain America, they also giving what's the name for slack for being a new Captain America, but also being black. Let's be honest. Come on, bro.
At 70 miles per hour and shooting a bunch of people. Marvel fans are so delusional, bro. You were holding on to John Walker's kill like Iron Man didn't murder a bunch of terrorists in his movie. Like, remember, before John Walker became US agent, he killed one person as Captain America. One person, fam. And it wasn't even someone special. It was a terrorist who was about to get him murdered. People hate on John Walker need to jump off their high horse, man, for real. But John Walker is a sick character, and I'm happy people are starting to jump on that opinion. Thunderbolts was such a cold movie, and as a Marvel fan, I can say we're back, fam. For real though, the John Walker hate was never justified, and his crash out killing the Flag Smasher just made sense in the moment. Fans were just hating at this because he wasn't Steve, and just because the writers want you to
You just can't kill niggas in cold blood and be a superhero, bro. Like, come on, bro. In the moment shit, yeah, like you fighting a bunch of niggas and somebody accidentally died, cool. But you walk the nigga down, bro. This is what it is. You talking about it's so much hate, but you really gotta like look at it from a standpoint. If you wanted somebody protecting you and protecting the world, but you can watch them walk down somebody and kill them in cold blood after surrendering, where they could have went to jail. He could have easily took him and brought him to jail, and he would have faced charges. Instead, you walked him down and killed him. You can't be a hero. You can't be. You can't wear the shield of Captain America and walk somebody down and kill him, bro.
Like a character shouldn't mean that they're actually an unlikable character. John Walker was a real victim of the show, being mistreated and disrespected by comrades, being significantly weaker than every foe they had to.
Alright, bro. Next one, bro.
And when I saw his redemption in the fans, that's when I knew we were doing something right. And now it's time for the next crash out. Benson from Regular Show.
Yeah, very valid. I'm not gonna lie. Every Benson crash out was damn near valid. I'm gonna be honest. Mordecai and Rigby are
To me, Regular Show is one of the most rewatchable cartoons of all time. It's like you get a different perspective or viewpoint of it every time you watch it at a different stage of your life. And when I was a kid, I used to hate Benson, bro. To me, when I was younger, he was just a guy who used to get angry at Mordecai and Rigby all the time. He was just mad, uptight, and annoying. Like, when I was a kid, I used to hate how strict teachers were. And at the time, I used to relate Benson to a teacher so much, I'd low-key dislike my man heavy. But what I've come to realize as I've become more and more conscious, self-aware, and have experienced more life as I've grown.
A little bit of frontal lobe development, okay.
Is that I feel bad for Benson, low-key. Benson just wanted all his employees to just do their jobs and commit.
Yes,
and instead
bro.
of getting that, most of them were just slacking, especially Mordecai and Rigby.
Bro, it's not even that they were just slackers, bro. It's not even literally that they were just slackers. These niggas was opening portals to hell, bringing in like the worst of the worst. Like, a regular day at work turns into you fucking like dance battling a crab for some, like, bro, like, what the fuck? Y'all niggas just can't work?
Benson just wanted these guys to do simple things like clean a room, fold chairs, take responsibility for any problems they've done. And what do instead? They go slack off or go do something completely random that isn't their job. Time and time again, Benson would have to keep telling Mordecai and Rigby over and over again just to do their jobs, which isn't something you should be telling two grown-ass men to do. They should just be doing it instead. Benson would have to always lash out and start raging at these men. And it got so bad at one point, Pops had to tell him to stop yelling at Mordecai and Rigby or else he would be fired. And Mordecai and Rigby were taking a piss out of this and took advantage, which literally caused Benson to turn into the sun and started destroying the park. Benson has showed time and time again he just wanted Mordecai and Rigby to do their jobs, and we all know every time he threatened to fire Mordecai and Rigby, he was never gonna fire them. He only said that so he could push some sort of urgency and get them to
just do their fucking job, bro.
Their jobs. But instead of doing their jobs, they'll just go on some random side quest that destroys the park 99% of the time. Like, if I was Mordecai Rigby's manager, I would be tweaking out as well, fam. These guys never took their job seriously. Benson never asked him to do any complicated shit. All he would ask him to do were baby chores we were all doing at like 9 years old. And instead, Mordecai and Rigby were treating us like it was the hardest thing to do possible. Benson's anger and rage towards his employees is the most justified point I've made in this video. Because it's not only that he's their boss and that it's his responsibility to hold them accountable to their jobs and make sure everything gets done, but it's also the fact that Benson cares about his employees. Like I mentioned earlier, time and time again, he's wanted to fire Mordecai and Rigby. Like, he literally says this every episode. And he did fire them in one, but they quit anyway, so don't even count. Just didn't work out for these men. But majority of the time, Benson just says it as a threat so they can do their jobs. Benson has a soft spot for Mordecai and Rigby. Like, the time Mordecai was depressed about Margaret and he told Mordecai to go speak to Margaret to get closure. Or the time he helped Rigby to pass a foreign language class to graduate high school. And he even helped save them in the stick hockey episode after he got rid of it because Mordecai and Rigby yet again didn't do
their fucking jobs, bro. I flopped here. They did their jobs. Benson made a mistake.
But by far the saddest moment of Benson is the episode where Mordecai and Rigby destroy a car and Mr. Mailer puts the responsibility of that on Benson or else he's gonna fire him. So he has to go drive all the way to the dealership all day to get there. And Mordecai and Rigby sneak their way onto his car, and since Benson has driven out too far already, he agrees and lets them stay with him to drive to the dealership. And during the drive, they start chilling and having fun. And there's even a moment where Benson tells Mordecai and Rigby the reason why he gets mad at them all the time is just because he wants them to do better and push them for that. Benson then hands them the responsibility to keep driving since he's gonna take a nap. And Mordecai and Rigby decide to take a deep.
I'm like, yo, you can't make these niggas suck. These niggas suck, bro. Just drive, bro. The fuck you mean we going to an arcade? Your boss literally, if he doesn't do this, will lose his job. And what do? Not do it. Like, oh God, these niggas is liabilities, bro.
Detour, drive into an arcade and spend all night at the arcade. And then we just get this sad scene from Benson.
I'm about to lose my job. You may not care about keeping your jobs, but I care about keeping mine. Because if I lose my job, I have nothing. Do you hear me? I I have nothing.
All Benson wanted to do was get these men to take their job seriously, do better in their lives, make something of themselves. But instead of that, they just messed up. They just messed about, which slowly had repercussions and problems toward Benson, since he's their manager and takes responsibility for any job or work they haven't done yet. I mean, Mordecai Rigby most of the time will complete a task or something, but it's normally at the cost of something else. Like when Benson, who was very extreme for this, I'm not gonna lie to you, hired a bounty hunter to find his car, and Mordecai Rigby stole the car to fix the window they broke, which eventually caused the bounty hunter to just blow up the car, but the glass stayed. Like, that's a piss take, I'm gonna be honest, fam. But for real though, if we're keeping it 100, for us adults now that used to watch regular show when we were kids, probably sympathize with Benson a lot more now, as we ourselves have grown and gained a lot more responsibilities and realize way more now Mordecai Rigby were in the wrong most of the time. I really and truly, they should have been fired a long time ago, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. And now for my final crash out. And before I even enlighten you on why this person was right for getting angry, I'm gonna paint a picture for you so you can get the most out of this explanation. We all most likely have somebody in our lives we hate. It's deep in our bones, deep in our hearts. I'm talking about when you hear their name, you get furious, fam. You just start raging with envy when they start winning and you don't. And you weren't always like this.
Okay,
you and this person.
listen. It's not necessarily a envy thing, but there's just like there's a few niggas where it's just like, oh my god, you like really a bitch. Like, you really ain't shit. You an ain't shit ass person. There's definitely those motherfuckers for sure. It's not even just envy. It's just like, I just don't like this motherfucker. No cap. I don't give a fuck if you're doing good or doing bad. I don't give a fuck. I just don't like you. You could be you could be a billionaire. I still won't like you. You could be homeless. Guess what? I still won't like you. No sympathy for me ever.
We used to be friends, comrades, something like brothers. People couldn't separate you two sometimes because of how close you were. But then they betrayed you. They let you down in your darkest hour. They fumbled when you needed them most, and after that moment, you vowed to never trust a human soul like that ever again. Now I want you to take all the anger I've just helped you resurface and throw it at Dinkleberg and scream it with me. Bun Dinkleberg, man. Everything in Mr. Turner's life was ultimately horrible because of Dinkleberg. The weather was horrible. Dinkleberg. His tie didn't match his shirt. Dinkleberg. The Turner household ran out of milk. Dinkleberg. And when I was younger and used to watch Very Odd Parents, often I just thought that Mr.
I used to think he was tripping too.
Turner was a hater. However, I have some strong evidence here which justifies the hate against Dinkleberg. In the episode where Timmy goes back in time, we can see his parents. And before Mr. Turner was with his wife, she was close to Dinkleberg. Now I know that's a relatable feeling. When you see fine shit but they already with somebody else, that shit gets me heated for real. Not to mention, Dinkleberg is a huge rage baiter. This guy would spend time out of his day to go bug and annoy Mr. Turner on some dumb shit. Whether he used to show off him being rich or even just come to his house for no reason to gloat and be passive aggressive. We all know what it's like to be rage baited by that one person who consistently does it to the point we all fall for it. And Mr. Turner was getting this done daily, from his childhood all the way to when he became a dad and was raising Timmy. Dinkleberg was...
I ain't gonna lie, if you know I don't fuck with you like that, why would you move next door to me? I understand getting pissed off, cause like, I don't fuck with you like that, and you move next door. Oh, you want that? You want that? You need these. You need these. Cause nigga, yo, on God, top tier rage baiter, bro. You need that, and I'm gonna give you those, bro. Just piss me off, and then not even did you just move. You stayed the whole time. Dinkleberg wanted to smoke. He had to want to smoke.
Consistently baiting this man and it was working. He even convinced Mr. Turner to try and kill this guy several times. Believe me, if I could wake up tomorrow with Toon Force and blow up my enemy, I probably would, I'll be honest. As peaceful as I am, I hate some brothers, but we ain't gonna go into that. But to get real here, I'm sure the hate Mr. Turner had towards Dinkleberg was just because he was jealous of Dinkleberg for having no kids. And the Dink in Dinkleberg stands for dual income, no kids. And that's how they're so rich compared to the Turners who can't afford half the stuff the Dinklebergs be buying. And that's probably why Mr. Turner carried some hate for Dinkleberg in the future. Also, Timmy was ruining a bunch of stuff for his dad, like losing awards he should have won, but then they got handed to Dinkleberg, which is a piss take. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd be heated at that. And as an adult, I can humbly say, but Dinkleberg, I hate Dinkleberg, you hate Dinkleberg, we all hate Dinkleberg, but this guy, man. But ladies and gentlemen, we at the end of the flick. If you lot got any more reasonable crash outs I haven't mentioned in this video, put them in the comment section below, because I want to see some different
income, no kids. That's just two people that are in a relationship together and they both work but don't have a kid, so they can spend their money on shit.
ones. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
W video, bruh. W video. That video cooked. Very, very valid crash outs. Well, semi-valid.